Hello everyone, welcome back to the B stream as the battle rages on, Daniel. We're getting close towards the end of the night now here on the B stream, but we've still got a lot of bangers in store. The next game looking to be another tasty affair as well. dramiS taking on GaRpY.
Yeah, not sure if either one of these players have met before, but they've actually been looking pretty strong. GaRpY nearly taking a map of Rafa and dramiS nearly taking a map of Cypher. So, you know, the two players we just saw, the two of the best players in the world, and these two players are very competitive with them. So I'm hoping for quite a nice encounter.
Hopefully so. And, you know, as you said as well, right, it's the first time we're getting GaRpY back in the QPL in quite some time as well. So obviously now getting an opportunity with the cross-region play to actually step over the pond a little bit, see how he fares against dramiS. We've got a lot of benchmarks for dramiS in recent form as well. So if anything, I think we're going to learn a lot about how GaRpY's looking just in terms of a raw one-on-one here, right?
You'd think so, yeah. And they have very different styles. dramiS is all that aggression. GaRpY's a bit more mediated, but can match that. I think the experience might shine through. I would support GaRpY to win it, but dramiS is looking better and better after a fairly shaky stage one.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we are ready to kick us off. We're going into Awoken as the first map. In terms of the champion picks, we're rocking with GaRpY on Doomslayer. Then we've got Athena for dramiS. We'll start off in the POV of dramiS as well. Straight up to the rail immediately to grab himself that big old weapon.
Yeah, Athena versus Doom. Pretty meta champions. dramiS plays a really nice Athena though, so GaRpY's going to have to be wary about taking any dodgy close combat engagements, because that's when dramiS becomes particularly tricky. We have a big fight for the Mega, and oh, he actually misses the grapple. Nearly eats a rocket to the face, but just clips him. Goes up the jump pad, and GaRpY not able to do enough damage as much as he would have wanted. We are on the NA server as well to start with, just pointing that out.
See if that affects things. Curious as well. It's very rare, I feel like, we actually ever see an Athena on Awoken too much anymore. dramiS is one of those players, though, that really makes it work. He's got a lot of interesting use of the grapple, somewhat like that. If you hit him off the door frames in the right location, obviously send yourself flying. That's sick. The transition there is beautiful. Follows it up as well with the grapple. Really, really nice opening encounter there. That was choreographed fantastically.
That's exactly what I meant by GaRpY needing to be careful when we have these close combat engagements, because he just got bamboozled by the movement of the Athena, and dramiS keeping the pressure on as well. GaRpY's doesn't even pick up the heavy.
Oh, mate, this is grim already. Like, this is actually disgusting. So clean on the movement. So crisp as well when it just comes to the flick shots he's hitting with the rail right now. The weapon prioritization's already been on point. Again, it's going to be another kill picked up. 1 minute and 40 seconds in, and 3 chalked up on the board. Hitting that rail probably means he's going to get himself a 4th here as well. He should win out this encounter, and he does. Sidestepping his way back into the light. What is going on with dramiS? What's he been eating?
I don't know, but I think GaRpY needs to be a bit as well. And whilst he's doing it, he needs to take his foot off the accelerator just a little bit, because it's not currently working out all too good for him, as he has got dramiS very low over in Banana Room, and GaRpY makes a move onto Mega. He now has a good level of control to make a comeback.
5 rails, 4 rockets. Limited in ammunition on a few select pieces of his arsenal. But it shouldn't matter too much, because he can waste a lot of time here as well. Slowly navigating his way around, playing a game of cat and mouse and just baiting him out with the audio cues. Really toying with GaRpY. Good use of the tri-bolt as well. Tried to get the predictive rockets off. Slowed down by the rail connection that will at least halt him in his tracks for a few seconds, but he had a follow-up grapple. Goes straight in! Makes the most of that situation. If he wasn't as perfect as he was with the rail, that would have been an opening frag for GaRpY. Instead, dramiS, so confident, so driven, and so decisive. Just rips him to pieces, gets 5 kills in 3 minutes.
What can you say? GaRpY at the moment struggling to keep up the tempo that dramiS is playing at. He has caught him here. dramiS swaps out a little bit too late and misses out. So that's a fairly big mistake, as it now gives GaRpY absolutely free reign for the next 2 items. dramiS going to try and push him with the lightning gun, but that's not the play, my friend, as you will get melted.
Okay. Chaining kills together. Ooh, it felt like what was a big lead for dramiS was starting to slowly unravel and reveal an opportunity for GaRpY to get into the game. But dramiS swinging into action. like an American Spider-Man. Well, I suppose he is American anyway. Comes straight back in down with the rockets and starts to tidy up. His rail has been sick tonight as well, specifically here in this series. Like, he's hitting some dirty rails.
The rail's been the defining weapon for sure. It's just keeping GaRpY at such a low stat that allows him to swing into action like George of the Jungle. As he's going to do here, nice rail. Follow up as well. And what is GaRpY meant to do when your opponent is just hitting these crazy shots?
What? Mate, the rail is actually just filth. What are we looking at here? 63% accuracy, about 1k damage done with the weapon, just cleaning up. So sublime. Rocket's finally getting some love here as well. Good grey. All right, I was going to say good use of the grapple to try and get himself into a great angle, but instead he has to try and get away with it. Cascade's further back, as he's actually low for once, but through the teleporter. Good night, GaRpY.
Yeah, and it's all about the tempo he's playing at. When you're hitting the shots you are, and you're playing at the speed you are, it makes Athena look overpowered.
Damn. Face after face as well. He is just not arsed right now. Every single encounter just favors him so much because of the confidence he's taken to it. His aim's on point, the movement's there, doubled up by the fact that he's got so much momentum on the Athena with that grapple, farming up hourglasses as well. Obviously, GaRpY can't really do too much on the Doom. That's probably one of the first few rounds we've actually seen him miss.
Feels like it, doesn't it? As he's just been all over GaRpY from start to finish. There's 4 seconds here, so GaRpY will be able to get this next item as dramiS does miss out, but he doesn't matter. He's probably going to swing back and hit a couple of rails and then pick up his next frag.
dramiS on the low ground, opting this time to instead just retreat and get himself a bit further back. Peeking through the angles, playing with such an aggressive pace as well. Even when he's on the back foot in terms of stack, he's still trying his luck. God, is that the artful dodger?
And this is his style. It's actually quite a high-risk style, but when it pays off, he looks incredible. But he has those weeks where the rails just aren't connecting, the aim isn't there, and all of a sudden, those plays look a little bit foolish. But in days like this, you can see how much it pays dividends.
Definitely working well. Trapped here behind the pole, though, and GaRpY giving him a little taste of his own medicine. It was a nice rail shot. Crisp stuff. GaRpY, good use of the double jump as well. Tried to get the flick rocket off. Couldn't course correct enough on that one to actually connect it, but does win out on the major item. There's a bit of a stack advantage here, Dan.
Yeah, quite a lot. GaRpY is slowly grinding his way back into this game. Let's not forget how quickly these types of maps can turn on a head on a game like Awoken. So GaRpY's still in with a shot. If dramiS does begin to miss, which it doesn't look like he wants to, comeback could be realistic.
It could be, but it is still 6 kills in the space of 4 minutes. And he needs to get one soon to start that long journey. dramiS on the getaway mission. LG, trying to find a bit of tickle damage as he eventually goes down. Wow, all right, crisp connection though from the rail of GaRpY, and he's straight back in, swinging for more. If he gets a 6 here, it's actually into a pretty good position, especially off the back of the teleporter spawn. He nearly took him down.
Nearly did, but dramiS also did a lot of damage. This mega is going to be huge, and it is GaRpY that takes it with absolute ease as dramiS doesn't decide to show his face. And the onslaught will continue from the Brit, but as you say, 2.5 minutes now, the time is whittling away much, much faster than GaRpY likes it to.
That's the issue as well, right? Because obviously he's got to slow it down to try and set up some sort of a trap to guarantee himself a kill. But every second he takes longer to be able to sink his teeth into dramiS is another second where he doesn't really have much time to get back into the game. Both major items here in one rotation sets him up, but now you've got to make the most of that. You've got thick skin, you've got the armor to play with, get in there and get a bit aggressive. dramiS up the bounce pad, goes straight into the LG, hitting a nice majority of it, but he still gets away, still sprints off and can burn so much more time.
So nice seeing this from GaRpY's POV, just to give you guys an understanding of the tempo that dramiS is playing at, you know? he's like teleporting sometimes. He's just from one place to the other.
Oh, it just straight grapples out. Like, he is a master of the grapple. It's very rare we get the Athena too often here on Awoken, but especially when it's someone like dramiS that knows how to use that grapple in the innovative ways. Like, literally, if you hit the right time, you hit it with the right pacing, you can send yourself flying, and he's showing that every single time. Look how quick he's gone.
And it must be so frustrating to be GaRpY right now, because you just must feel so slow compared to dramiS.
Well, you can just never close the gap, right? Even with the double jump that trivializes the map geometry, his grapple's just so much stronger.
They still can't finish off the American. There we go. But every single time GaRpY's making his aggressive moves, dramiS is just delaying. He's always hitting one or two annoying shots that just stops the momentum of GaRpY. If he hadn't hit those shots, we might have like a 10-8, 10-9 game, and this would suddenly be very scary for dramiS. But as it stands, a 3-frag lead in 40 seconds is quite a comfortable position to be in. But what it will do is definitely fill GaRpY with confidence, because if this map had ended, 15-2, I think he would have gone into the second map fairly hopeless. But, once again, he's shown he can do it.
He looked really good as well. Like, it was basically like a walking frag movie with some of the plays that was coming out of dramiS initially. Just the close range engagements, everything looked crisp. The rail was sick, the LG was beautiful. The times where he pulled out the rockets as well just looked so luscious.
Yeah.
But that is the first map in the books. dramiS will take it, beats out GaRpY there on Awoken to start us off in the series. 2 more maps to go with this, potentially. Obviously, there is always a chance that GaRpY could come back into the game. He kept it close once he actually found the counter to dramiS, but it just took too long.
It did take too long. That lead was not insurmountable, but enough to close out the game. And it just all happened in a flash,
Yeah.
A couple of rails here and there, and suddenly GaRpY's 4, 5, 6 frags down, and didn't really look like he had an answer. He managed to stabilize, but it was about 6 minutes into the game. And then even then, dramiS still was hitting the right shots at the right time and stopping all of the advances from GaRpY.
He was indeed. Just checking, of course, as well what we're working with here in terms of the next map that's coming up. Just having a quick peep at the veto dam. Give me a second. I've had to do a scroll. Yeah, what are we looking at here? Second map on this. We've got Molten Falls. After that, it's Deep Embrace if we need it for a third map. And it looks like it's actually Sorlag versus Strog. Ooh, GaRpY on Sorlag and Strog for dramiS. Strog and Pika. That's another genuine talisman pick in terms of champions for dramiS in my mind.
Yeah, for sure. He loves those aggressive style champions where you can really go home with the advancing and just absolutely suffocate your opponents. And when he's hitting the shots, as we said before, when he hits these shots, he really does look strong. But there is times where he can be inconsistent, and now we're moving over to an EU server. Maybe that will impact his aim a little bit more than it would do otherwise, giving GaRpY a little bit of a lifeline, because he kind of needs one.
Yeah, he needs something. He needs something to get himself back in the game a little bit here and keep it close. I do think we're still at least going to have a close series out of this, even with the next map. But it being Molten, it being the champion picks we've got out of this one, I don't know. I think there is still a large edge that plays in favour of dramiS, really. He's good at Molten Falls. His rail's on point as well, which is going to be a major asset to pull out at the right time here on this map, Dan. This could be a 2-0.
Could be. Although we saw how well GaRpY can play Sorlag against Rafa. I do like that pick. But as you say, dramiS is a Strog and Pika connoisseur and does love to play that champion on Molten Falls as well. So giving the edge to dramiS just of what we've seen on last map, but again, I'm also liking the position that GaRpY is in with the pick he has as well.
We'll see. We'll see if the Maestro Mandem can get out there, cause a bit of madness on the server on Molten Falls. If he does, we'll bring it back. It'll take us to a third map. That'll be Deep Embrace, which could be sick to see actually between the both of them. If Awoken's anything to go by, that would be just fists flying, right?
I would love to see Deep Embrace between these two.
Yeah, that would be sick. Hopefully, we can get there. It's up to GaRpY, though. It's in his hands. It looks like we have loaded in. The British Bulldog himself. Has he got the bark and the bite, Dan?
He has, when he's in the mood. Temperamental dog.
What, like a sausage dog?
Are they temperamental?
I think they can be. But I suppose all dogs can be, really.
Yeah. I wouldn't classify Gareth as a sausage dog.
No, no.
Just leave that analogy there.
We'll just let that one hang.
So we have some opening engagements out here in the mid ground, and already dramiS showing us he's still got the rails, 180 ping.
It's tasty, man. So we're already looking like we're going to be getting some scraps coming out here between the two boys. Gliding around. And this is what I was looking forward to seeing as well. Oof. Man, okay. Nearly missing as he wanted to try and go for the rail into the tail. Ooh. The upwards rocket as well, impacting just underneath the chin of GaRpY. And dramiS slides his way out.
GaRpY looking healthy though now. He's got a rocket as well. He's happy to take engagement here. They're going to meet over the light armor, and GaRpY gets the good tracking and absolutely melts dramiS. Nice start, and he'll also be able to take away this heavy and be in a really good stack. But once again, dramiS slides across with the rail. Big rocket though. Oh, what a peeker that is, catching GaRpY with the wrong weapon. Oh, how frustrating. What a spawn.
Oh, hello. All right. I mean, fair enough. Off the back of the spawn straight in.
Yeah.
Makes the most of the saw lag. Oh, making the most of the rail though. That's what dramiS is doing. Delivers his medicine straight to the brain of GaRpY. Stack actually patched up pretty quickly though. Both of them in a very similar position. Gliding around so quick for such a big girl. Lands down on top of the heavy. And now has so much more in terms of an advantage when it comes to actual stack here against dramiS. dramiS just opting to create space between the two. Mega's up in 7 seconds, and it seems like they want to fight for it.
Yeah, they do, but dramiS actually deciding just to play a bit more tactfully, trying to hit some exit damage. Doesn't want to contest GaRpY in close range combat, given that huge stack that he's working with. But those rails, always pixel rails. The boy lives in Zoom. He zooms more than anyone else I've seen in Quake Champions.
He's a bit of a zoomer, isn't he? And you're a massive boomer.
Right, dick.
Oh, all right. There's no need to swear at me.
Oh, dear.
Goodness. Get very heated in here. Ooh. Man, all right. GaRpY certainly not cooling off. Straight back in. Looking to melt dramis's face like the polar ice caps. As he does lose an awful lot of stack off the back of that. Catches him off as well with the LG. Pika comes out. Nice transition. Gets the rail out in time. Hits it. Tri-bolt spam towards the doorway. Pins him with the LG. Has to get away with a quick fadeaway back through the teleporter. Both of them. Oh, in a horrible spot, especially when the rail actually lands.
Oh, that was such an important rail from dramiS through the gap there. Should mean he's actually able to push on his heavy and potentially get a frag, as GaRpY is going to stick around for it. dramiS is so healthy, but just a little bit late, and GaRpY does make his retreat in the nick of time.
Trying to actually go for quite an aggressive swing here. Obviously, dramiS very effective, at least wasting time between the both of them. Mega's back up. Slides his way in and grabs it. Bit of a late spit there from GaRpY. Wow. Okay. Clean shot on the rail. It's two nice little taps that he's been able to bring out. dramiS with the Mega once again. Buffs out all of the damage he's sustained. Comes flying in off the top rope here to fight for control of the heavy. Good fadeaway shot there from GaRpY straight onto the Pika to shut it down. Lovely rocket as well. That's 100 damage done.
Nice.
And starts to hold his own. Rocket after rocket coming in. Ooh, this is cutting back that big stack and making it far harder for dramiS.
Yeah, getting incredibly cagey. And one of the big differences so far is the rail from dramiS. It's just not connecting. Only 26% so far. And we saw like nearly 60% last map or whatever it was. So if he was hitting the same level of rails, guarantee he'd be winning this game so far.
Well, no, I mean, the thing is, right, sustainably, if this is able to continue on just being a one-frag game for as long as possible, it could turn on a dime.
Yeah.
And maybe this is the signal for it to change the Pika!
So nice.
Oh, he's been done in by a drone racer.
Through the telly, in behind the dinosaur.
Oh. I feel a bit sick. A little bit sick.
It is sickening. Oh, the big rocket from GaRpY as well. Jam is trying so hard to keep the initiative up, but it's just not to be. Oh man, this is close.
This is actually really close. This is the scary fact. If it stays on like this for as long as possible, literally been a one-frag game, now back to a stalemate, we could get a third map out of this. It's Deep Embrace as well, so it would be a hell of a spectator sport to actually see how these two would go head-to-head on that map. Oh, crisp rails coming out. Another nice bit of damage. That one not quick enough, though, as GaRpY had already turned the corner and gotten out of there. Skedaddled the safety. Now the shoe's on the other foot. dramiS is the one creeping in from underneath to fight for the Mega. 1 second till it spawns in. He can try and step his way onto it. Needs to grab it and run.
He'll miss out on the heavy now as dramiS gets that relatively clean. I mean, we'll see GaRpY slow down the pace as he knows he's out of control right now. dramiS trying to pick an angle, but it's not entirely sure where GaRpY's situated. That's nice.
Crouch sliding coming into effect to at least try and close the gap between the both of them. It's got a few bits and bobs to work with, timing-wise. We are getting closer and closer towards the bitter end of this one. The rocket coming back out, holding towards the closed doorway. There's the jump face. Hits that shot onto him for a nice 90 damage. Oh, rocket jump up as well. Gets himself back up on the elevated angle, trying to track him down. Really going full throttle for this one. Pika comes out once again. The Pika's had so much success.
Yeah. Pika's been really, really good from dramiS so far. And the rail is beginning to slowly connect a little bit more, which is why we see dramiS having a bit more success. And again, the speed coming in from the stroke of Pika, finding GaRpY a little bit out of position. When you're out in the open like that, you're incredibly vulnerable, and just the rockets from GaRpY are not connecting, and dramiS has taken the lead for the first time this match.
Finally. It couldn't have come at a better time, really. It feels like it's been a one-frag game the whole time. It's been back and forth like a metronome. But in what camp will it fall? And who'll take this? If dramiS picks it up, that's a 2-0. Swift 2-0. That'd be a rough way to go for GaRpY. If not, we're going to Deep Embrace. And that's where we'll see if a comeback is possible. GaRpY, he needs to get a frag here. Has to get one on the board soon. And that rail's going to slow him down. That rail's even better as well. The clean peaks coming out from dramiS. And talking of Pikas, there's the peekaboo play. That one not as successful as the previous.
No, but he did win the item, and if he can get this Mega, this is going to be the big chance for him now to go in, and this is what he needs to do. Pick up this item. He's trying to stop dramiS as he goes round, but he's not there, and dramiS is not even going to contest for this Mega. Try and deal some damage if GaRpY comes up through the stairway, but that's about it. It's about running for your life now. He knows he's on the ropes.
Last chance saloon. Final 30 seconds, do or die at this point. He's got to close the gap between the both of them, but the sheer speed of dramiS actually working in his favor, and he's still taking these fights as well. Turning, running towards the fire here to do enough damage to slow it down. GaRpY grabs a Mega. dramiS is already halfway across the globe. Look at him.
But he has been caught here as draft. He gets bounced actually into the lightning of dramiS, and he ties it up with just under 10 seconds to go. Woo!
All right.
Game on.
That's clutch. That is ridiculously clutch. 10 seconds till Mega up as well. This is such a big benefit for GaRpY.
He knows he's got the
rocket
peek out.
coming in. All he's got to do is fight. He'll get the frag. He takes us to a third.
No. Balls on that man to stay in the game. dramiS was doing everything right. He just got a little bit clipped as he was going through the doorway. And unfortunately, the rocket he spammed out from behind him actually knocked GaRpY more into his path. And GaRpY eventually did everything right. Really, really close game. I think, again, we said the defining characteristic for me was just dramiS not hitting his rails. And we said as soon as he doesn't do that, his playstyle doesn't pay dividends as much as it does.
Yeah, it was certainly a lot more inconsistent, right, than what we saw. Obviously, he was even hitting the silly low percentage rails back on Awoken, which he never should have been hitting. They're not as consistent, but that's rough. I mean, a hell of a comeback for GaRpY, and he's certainly going to be chuffed to bits with that one. Obviously, it's sick as well, because, I mean, for me and you, Dan, obviously everyone else is actually going to be watching this one. Deep embrace between these two should be a real treat.
Throws the series wide open, doesn't it? Because this map can just be over before you know what's happened if you get the good start. What champions did you say they're playing? No?
Coming out for this one, I'll peep it.
Have a look, have a scroll.
Oh, okay, so we've got Ranger for dramiS, and it's Eisen for GaRpY.
Okay, interesting. So we've got two medium champions, which means a bit more tactful, not as chaotic as two heavies. dramiS will be the one able to set the tempo, but Eisen has some good utility on this map as well. So if GaRpY can get a stack up and use that turret wisely up on the high ground, should be tons. Should be good.
No, I think no matter what, this is going to be dope. Like, this should actually be a really quality way to at least shut the series down. Both of them have a big opportunity here. Obviously, for dramiS as well, if he can somehow get back into that position he was in Awoken, where he was just taking every fight so confidently, I do feel a little bit worried for GaRpY. So hopefully it will be a bit closer than that. Should
be back on NA as well, which means dramiS' aim will be cleaner than it was on the EU server. And you're right, if dramiS now gets ahead of steam and starts hitting those rails, we know how fast he can play, particularly with the Ranger. Yeah, it could be curtains for GaRpY very early on.
Oh, definitely. It's a possibility. We've had some, I'd say, absolutely ridiculous games on Deep Embrace over the course of the day as well. Some of the way they've gone have been crazy. You had the pleasure of casting one of them, so let's see if this...
so good.
Oh, mate, it looked like it. So hopefully this will be something similar, Dan.
I hope so. I mean, they can both put on a show for us, and that's what they got to do. If you're going to go home in style, right?
Well, technically they're already home, but we're supposed to log off in style.
Sometimes you pain me, Jack Peters. You pain
Only
me.
Sometimes.
Quite a lot of the time I was being flattering.
Oh, thank you. Flattery will get you nowhere, Dan. Fragging, however, will. As we're into the third map, let's see who's walking away with the big old W in a bag, and who's going to be left with just a big L. The turret taken down already. There's dramiS. He's not a fan of robots.
He's not. And GaRpY struggling a little bit now. He hasn't got any weapons, but he's managed to work his way up to the high ground, but does eat an important rail. And instantly the orb comes out as dramiS wants to chase him down. He does so successfully.
Oh, wow. Okay. Rail straight back out. Looking eerily reminiscent of what we had on Awoken in terms of some of the quick flicks. Doesn't land that one, though, but it won't matter, because, of course, he's already got a kill on the board here. Also means he can just grab himself that major item. Didn't feel like it was a possibility there, though, for him to be pigged, though, as GaRpY had the angle on lockdown and hits him, at least softens him up and takes away some of the big stack he had.
Turret will tell him exactly what's going on. You can hear the timing as well, just hiding out. Catches dramiS up the thing, but the repositioning, I don't think GaRpY realised he actually went to the orb. Caught off guard a little bit there, and he's taken a lot of damage. Turret goes down in defense, but GaRpY very much on the ropes.
Okay, straight up into the air, peeking through the hole in the floorboards, trying to do a nice amount of damage. Does actually clock him, knows where he is, misses the rocket. Oh, it's a bit panicky, but it's still more than enough to actually put him into a really horrible spot.
Wow.
Faces round the back of the pillar and gets pummeled because of it. Shut down by the LG, and he's straight back in. He wants more. We've got 6 seconds till Mega's up. If he actually wins out on this, it would be disgusting.
Way.
No!
That was dirty.
Wow. All out aggression there. So confident the way he played it. Oh, it feels like it's going to be another Awoken-esque game.
Yeah, GaRpY's trying to be aggressive to shut down dramiS, but he's just not doing enough damage. And dramiS has got all of the items so far, and it's not looking good for the Englishman so far.
No, it's not. The British Bulldog. Ooh. Might need someone to call the RSPCA because this is looking a little bit like animal abuse. dramiS already getting himself 3 kills on a board. He's got that dire orb in the back pocket as well. What he doesn't have is any rocket ammunition. At least now he's been able to replenish it, so he does have a little bit more in reserve. Down to 5 rails as well. I don't think it'll really matter too much. Sends himself in with a rocket jump. Beautiful flick. Straight back up for seconds as well. And uses the dire orb to just rip him to pieces.
Yeah, it's really controlled from dramiS. He's not overextending whatsoever. He's choosing his situations well, and that's why GaRpY's struggling, because he's not able to defend himself. He has got a position here on the heavy, which is good. Worked his way over there. But now, how's he going to make this count? He hasn't got a weapon to work with. He's got 3 rockets left, and that is it.
Nearly 4 minutes into this one on Deep Embrace. It is the 3rd and final map. And GaRpY trailing behind by 4 kills. Could be quite scary if he doesn't begin to course correct soon. But dramiS has got control of the items. Knows exactly where that turret is as well that's locking down the high ground. He'll make quick work of that and scrap it. Sends himself up. Transitions back onto the rail but doesn't hit the shot. Tracks him down though. It's a very aggressive game of hide and seek going on here, Dan.
It is indeed, and you can see that as soon as dramiS is the one on the defense, he's done a much better job of prohibiting any advances from GaRpY. GaRpY's really struggling to lock down dramiS.
Oh! That was a clean rail. Little click on the rocket, but it shouldn't matter, as he won't need the weapon. Oh, just leaping from pillar to pillar. Firing off the burst from the tri-bolt as well, instead opting to try and pick that out with the LG. GaRpY was able to grab the Mega on the fadeaway. Does a nice amount of damage, potentially to actually instigate himself into the game. If he can turn this into a frag, it would be a nice opener. Oh, but dramiS still with the rockets through the tiny cracks in the floorboards, hitting his shots.
This defensive play has been absolutely remarkable. Finally, GaRpY gets a frag, but what feels like it's been an eternity in the making does, though, give him a big boot in this game. 5 minutes left is a long, long time. He needs to make sure he doesn't take too much damage when picking up these items, though. dramiS doesn't know he's dropped, and that will be actually to his benefit, because GaRpY can surprise his opponent not hitting the shotgun. And dramiS, if he steals away this heavy, it's huge, and he does! Oh no, that sucks.
He's burnt the heavy. You might have got the kill, but you've lost out on the item, and that's going to hurt him so much more. The dire orb, though, finally missing. His orb usage has been really sick throughout the game. That was the first time it doesn't land, but it won't matter as he still sticks to his guns quite literally as he pushes back in with the LG, and he's just dismantling GaRpY. It's a 5 split that rapidly turns into a 6-2 as we hit the 6-minute mark.
Will do indeed. GaRpY's in a little bit of trouble now. It was an uphill battle to get back into the game, and the game has been reset once again. dramiS in position for this Mega. That's big rocket. He's actually stuck on the ledge, and ooh, as I say that, here we go.
GaRpY coming in hot, delivering some piping hot bullets as well. Oh, the mini! Hello, both of them high-fiving in midair.
GaRpY, come on, my friend. Fix your movement.
He's done the hard part. It doesn't matter. He can take his couple of seconds. Ooh, 2 kills to go, though, to actually get himself back into the game here. Wow.
Oh, this is awkward.
Yep.
That is so awkward. Oh, man. That will really, really annoy GaRpY.
God damn. That is terrifying. dramiS. 7 kills. Heavy coming up in a second as well. In position, ready to rumble. Lovely rail on the face. GaRpY, he's got to hightail it. Or potentially give up 4 frags in advantage to dramiS if it doesn't actually create some distance. Mega's back up in a second as well. He's right by it, so that's an easy pickup. Swoops his way around. GaRpY does reveal himself on the face and at least hits a nice rail out of it though, Dan.
Yeah, for sure, and he's definitely in this game because it's still playing for just 3 frags to go.
If he can pick this up soon, you are right. There is a potential that he could get into it. All builds up to this point as well. It's the 3rd and final map, and the rails for both of these boys have been huge assets. dramiS so close to death's door, but just avoiding that date with the coroner every time.
Oh,
barely keeping himself
Jesus.
alive. What?
How are none of these connecting?
I don't know. Oh, it's just wild. The one kill that would have been so lucrative for GaRpY has just evaded him time and time again. dramiS, yes, he's taking hits, but he just doesn't waste time. Even the dire orb has been so sublime at just being able to play around him. Goes back in that time as well, flips it on his head, and leaves GaRpY dead.
How? That's remarkable. I have no idea how that just happened. GaRpY just not hitting a single shot. And that could be it, Jackie, because dramiS is in a good position now just to defend this lead. And
Wow.
yeah,
man.
that will be it now as big rockets come out bouncing GaRpY around. Lightning gun to finish, and an interesting map to say the least.
Yeah, like, I mean, the orb play was dope. We're still seeing more of it now as
Yeah.
well, back in to instigate another fight. Like, dramis's orb has been on the money the whole time here on Deep Embrace. It's done so much from him. Oh, nice snapshot there on the rail, but merely a consolation prize, really, right? Deep Embrace, that's done. Feels like the series is over at this point. It's going to go 2-1. GaRpY brought it back on Molten Falls, kept it clutch with a last-second kill. But as we get to the 3rd map, the bookend seems to favor dramiS, and the American will move on.
Will do indeed. A very close series overall. First map started off as a bit of a whitewash, but GaRpY definitely brought it back to a respectable level. Second map, again, as close as can be. And this map could have quite easily gone in the favor of GaRpY if his aim clicked just a little bit more than it did. He really needed Lady Luck to help him hit some of those shots, and unfortunately he didn't.
dramiS, he didn't need anything else on his side. He was talismanic in the way he played it back on Awoken.
Yeah.
Awoken was super, super sick to see. Like, that was genuinely, for me, the highlight of the whole series, just in terms of what dramiS was pulling out. So quick, so clean, hitting shot after shot with a rail. Big weight to lock it down as well. Does take the series in the end. It could have been the 2-0 as well when you think about it, Dan. Molten literally being decided in the space of, like, what, 5 seconds before the map was done?
Yeah, absolutely. Could have gone either way. Once again, every map could have gone either way. dramiS would look phenomenal on map 1. I think his form began to drop a little bit as the series went on, but he definitely did what he needed to do. And the defensive play on the last map on Deep Embrace was actually pretty damn good. He got a bit of luck towards the end. GaRpY had him on the ropes and just couldn't finish him off. But he played exactly what he needed to do, and really enjoyed the orb play coming out as well.
Yeah, no, the orb was sick to see, but we have to relocate and disappear for a little bit, as that is the end of that matchup. We'll be back with more action, though, later on, so keep it locked. We're back after the break.
Bye, peace, stream.